there's ways that we can all help each other and all kind of share with each other. And I mean, it's kind of like, it's really what the network is. And I love your analogy of planting seeds, because really what you're doing is you're planting seeds and you're all growing like kind of like roots, like underground. Like
it's one thing I like that y'all do. Y'all always shoot me with that text message when the rates go down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because
it's our give.
Yeah. I always forget about rates, right? But when I see that they went down, when I call people, it gives me an excuse
there you go,
to talk to them about something.
Yeah.
So it's like everything is useful. You just have to know what it's useful for.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I always like to ask this question, Cesar, because we like to kind of pinpoint, some pieces of advice that we can give to the listener, right? I want you to just imagine that you were invited to speak at a conference, right? For maybe it's a mindset conference, or it's a successful entrepreneur conference, and they bring you up on stage, and they ask, Cesar, tell the group, 3 things that you think that you just could not live without in your business. Maybe even one thing. If you feel like one thing is the most important, what would you share with the people that are, wanting to be where you're at?
Like one thing, like a cell phone, or
one thing that you've applied to your business that if you didn't apply, it would not be the same.
Organization. If you do not apply organization, your life runs you. You don't run life. That's the easiest way to explain it. Because if you're not organized, every time that you remember that you need to do something, you stop doing something that you're supposed to be finishing at that moment. So like now your tasks become jumbled, and people are like, oh, I'm a great multitasker. Quit lying to yourself. You're not. Nobody is.
Nobody.
No one.
Yeah. Because the moment that you move on to something else, you forgot about something. So organization, yeah. Couldn't do it without being organized.
How does organization show up for you?
Man, organization is just from repeatedly failing. I have failed due to organization so much that you kind of learn from it. It's like if you're not realizing why you're missing out on things or failing at things, it's because you're not taking the time to reflect. And when I took the time to reflect, most of the times it wasn't organized. I wasn't organized. I didn't want to do the tough things. That was really my thing. I would just leave things. I would leave things that were just difficult or I didn't want to do for the end.
Okay.
And now I leave them for the beginning.
It's that quiet time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you just knock it out in the morning.
Then knock it out in the morning. Oh, right. Sorry. You know what? I have a, like you get the phone call, right? Hey, I know we're supposed to close, but we're not closing. Actually, the loan failed. It's busted. So now you got to call your client, right? Most of us wait till the last second to call him. I pick up the phone. Hey, look, it's not closing. They failed. I know you're angry. Trust me, all of us are angry. It hurts. It stinks. We don't want to be in this situation, but unfortunately, it's what it is. So 15 minutes, we've gotten it out of the way. We don't have to dwell on it anymore. So that organization and getting rid of those things that you shouldn't have to dwell on anymore. And the third one, you just have to be dedicated. There's no halfway doing things. If you're gonna be a realtor, be a realtor. If you are gonna be a builder, be a builder. If you're gonna be a lender, be a lender. Don't try to do everything. There's enough money in this industry for all of us to go down our lane and all of us earn money together.
So true.
Yeah. So don't be a jack of all trades. You don't have to master everything. You just need to know enough and take the leap. Keep moving forward. Yeah.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
I love that. So organization, you can't do anything unless you're organized, right? Things are gonna fall through the cracks. You can't function. Being dedicated.
Tackle the hard things.
Tackle the hard things first.
Immediately.
Yeah. Immediately.
Immediately tackle them. That's so good. Kind of like just immediately tackling a hard workout that just sets you up for tackling hard things. And I love it, staying dedicated, staying in your lane.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, there's enough for everyone in their lane. And now you're just looking for people that are going in the same direction as you.
Exactly.
That
Forward.
are in their lane, right?
Forward.
Going forward.
Yeah.
And in that have the same kind of mentality, the same goals, the same things that you're just trying to achieve together.
Yeah. And we know what? Me and you might not even have the same goals. The thing is, it's like, we just want to be better. That's it. Because it's like, I know you're having a kid or you just had one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, maybe your goals are your kids, right? Yeah. So it's like, my goal is to go on vacation some days. My goal is to take Saturday off to go compete at one of these CrossFit competitions. Our goals might not always line up, but together we can help each other deal in our goals. Yeah. Deal in our goals, because it's like, I want you to be able to take off whatever day you want to be with your kid, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just moving forward. Was it bad? Was it a bad day? Yeah, it was a bad day for all of us. Let's keep moving forward. Today I got a phone call and the lady asked me, how's it going? And honestly, at that moment, it wasn't great. But you know what? I answered with, I'm happy today. Today is great. And she said, you know what? No one cares if it was bad, if your day's bad, right? And she's like, and I was like, yeah, you're correct. And she's like, yeah, let's just be happy together.
Right.
I answered her question and she went on her way. So it's just a feeling. As long as you're feeling good and you mentally prepared that not everything's going to be great, all the bad stuff that happens, it's by the wayside. I know you had asked the question about almost failing. Okay. Being in real estate, I'm going to be in real estate for, I think I'm on my 19th year. Okay. I'm 37 years old. I'm on my 19th year. I am a veteran in my industry, right?
Yes, you are.
Right? It's like I'm the old guy, but no one can tell when I'm standing in the room. So I mostly get ignored. And it's okay. Real estate was my stepping stone to becoming a builder, right? I always wanted to be a builder. And taking that leap to become a builder, it's where my first biggest failure came. But it wasn't a failure in the end. It's just every step of the way, I did everything wrong. Starting with the wrong partner, the wrong business partner. 4 weeks later into the project, he ghosted me, disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah. Me having a background in remodeling, I was like, this can't be that hard, right? But yeah. I know nothing about building.
Permits.
I know nothing about building. Yeah. Permits. Inspections. I mean,
there's City of Houston.
City of Houston is your not your foe, but the person that points out the most that you don't know what you're doing. And when you decide to become a builder on your own, every step forward you take costs money. Every step backwards costs money. And now you got to come forward again and it costs money. So when you mess up, it costs 3 times the regular cost if you would have done it right. Because you paid to have it done. Now you got to pay to have it torn down. And now you got to pay to redo it.
Wow.
So, yeah. So let me make a long story short. I don't know what I'm doing. And I just start moving forward because it's my project and I'm already in it. I got to figure out how to get out of it, right? And so I figure out how to just keep moving forward. But at this point, I felt so much that I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to quit. During the same time, my dad gets diagnosed with cancer while he's on a trip to El Salvador. So now he has to have emergency surgery. And let's just call it lucky me, I don't qualify for loans to build houses. So I have to put everything out of pocket. And at the same time that this is happening to my dad, I'm having to pay for things out of pocket because, health insurance doesn't cover in El Salvador. So I'm driving down Hardy Street, and I don't forget because it's kind of just what really put that mindset in of 4:00. I'm driving down Hardy, and I'm like, I'm running out of money. My dad's sick, dying. I don't know because I can't see him. I got all these other things to deal with, and I'm breaking down. It's real easy. You're crying at a red light. And like I said, it's like I read a lot. Mm-hmm. So I had read this book on the human psychology, how we think and how we act and all these things. And it had talked about grief and that there's stages. And I just had a conversation with myself between one red light to the next. And between these red lights, it's like, hey, your dad's not dead. He's out there. He's out there battling it out. He's just got to heal. Okay, just keep going. We'll figure that out. He's the one that has to really go through this. Okay, I don't have any money. It's okay. You only need $3,000-$4,000 today. You don't need the next payment till in a couple of weeks. How are we going to get it? Dude, you work in real estate. You're allowed to make as much money as you want. You just got to go at it hard. So my dad gets better. I actually go out and look for people to help me, to teach me, to do something because I just do not know how to get this project back on track. And I meet one of my second mentor, Pascual. And he just goes to town on me on education. And the thing is, when you're being educated with your own money and you're getting a one-on-one from a guy that knows so much, it's almost like you're being insulted because he's talking to you, but the words he's telling you hurt because he's like, do you not know this? He's like, well, no, you don't know this. This is why. So like the words hurt. And you have to develop a thick skin because he's trying to teach you. And he's trying to teach you why you can't go to Home Depot and buy fixtures because you're trying to sell a $500,000 house and you have to go to somewhere better. And you have to give these things or these homes at these price points better quality items. So 6 months later, we finish the project. My dad's better. I find a buyer. I make very little money. I'm talking about this project has been going on for 3-4 years. I made 20 grand, right? That comes out to less than $5,000 a year.
And a lot, your hourly rate is like 5 cents.
Yeah, very badly, right? But the schooling I got, it's like, it was just when I got to the second one, it's like people could tell me things and I'd be like, oh, okay. And if it didn't make sense, I just call someone at the city and they'd be like, oh, no, this is correct. This isn't correct. And then the city would offer me help. They'd be like, hey, you know what? If you're not understanding it, just schedule the drive-by and we will come and tell you how to help you with figuring this out. So I just learned that there was plenty of people out there not working against you. They actually want to help you. And so that's why, like now, when people ask me if I know the answer, if I do, I give the answer. If I don't, I say, you know what? I don't, but I know the right person. Let me get you the answer. And people feel better about that because it's like now they're like not having to second guess whether I know the answer or not. Yeah. So I make very little money, but here's the cool thing. I had put all my money into this home in small bits and pieces. Right? 4,000 here, 2,000 there. All of a sudden, it all comes back in bulk.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So even though it wasn't a big win, it was a huge win because I was never going to put $400,000 together in my bank account by going to work. So that leapfrogged me to all my other projects. So you just have to have that leap of faith. And, that brings me to the second person who has been a great mentor in my life, which is my mom. She always had these little sayings. In Spanish, it's al que a todo le tira, a nada le pega. So what she was saying is, if you throw at everything, you're not going to hit anything. So pretty much she was saying, if you focus on one thing, you're going to hit it eventually. Right? So that became my why, even though when I started, I could be a lender. And a lot of realtors were lender realtors.
Remember?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to be a lender. My buddy Pablo can be the lender. I can be the realtor. And me and him split, conquered, divided, and won. And now he's my business partner at Blue Roof Real Estate.
So great.
Yeah.
So great.
And then she had this second saying, which was, from a small puddle, you can build lakes and oceans. And that was literally my first build. It's like, to me, it was the biggest thing in the world. But in the builder world, I was just a puddle of water.
Right.
But from that puddle of water, I've been able to branch out and build multiple homes over the last couple of years. And that's why she's been such a big mentor, because no matter how difficult things got for us, all she has ever said is, let's wake up early and let's go.